In its first state Final Four appearance in girls soccer in school history, Kirtland puts in a commendable work rate, but unfortunately it does not translate into a result, as Doylestown Chippewa emerges with a 1-0 win in a Division III state semifinal down in Ravenna. A tough result for the Hornets. From a how it got there standpoint, a PK in the 75th is absolutely an agonizing way to go, but from a fair result standpoint, given how Chippewa dictated the attack for much of this match, I think 1-0 is a fair reflection of the match from that standpoint, but it does not take away from the fantastic run that the Hornets put together in this postseason and really this entire season overall. It's been a great ride for Kirtland, for those girls, and for that community. Was the PK a fair call? Naked eye, live action, looking at it, yes, I think it was a fair call. There were two instances of contact there in the second half in the box. Chippewa players making runs into the box, drawing contact from Kirtland players. I think the first one was harder contact than the second one. The center ref decides not to do anything with the first one and elects to give the PK there on the second one there in the 75th. Bottom line, when you're a center ref, and I think he had a good match here overall, but in a state semifinal, let's be honest, folks, you've got to have some cojones to call a PK in the second half of a state semifinal. He didn't believe the first one merited it. He believed the second one did, and C.J. Fazenbaker for Chippewa steps up to the spot. It appeared that Maddie Zuber, the Hornets' outstanding All-Ohio goalkeeper and longtime program stalwart, got a pretty decent read in the run-up to the strike. She lunged to her right to try to make a diving stop there, but Fazenbaker did beautifully with a low 90 strike for the final margin. As far as the match and the natural flow of attack, I think Chippewa had the better of attack in this match. Yes, there were only 4 shots on target, but I think the attacking flow was definitely in favor of the Chips, especially through midfield. Kirtland had a really tough time with combination play in ball winning in midfield, and that played such a big role for them in many of the results they've had to get to this point, but it just wasn't happening. They weren't setting that tone in the opening 40 of this match, and it really didn't improve dramatically there in the second half. They had their moments from time to time. Hannah Vuk had really unlucky there, made a great piercing run through midfield, won a touch, right-footed strike. It's unfortunately a bar rattler and goes out there early in the match. But Kirtland just really had a tough time through midfield. Ed tried some different things tactically to try to open it up and try to improve the possession. I was thinking maybe there earlier in the second half, when it's still a 0-0 match, maybe getting right back Carrie Zalba into midfield and seeing if she can help set that tone. But unfortunately, overall, no matter what happened there tactically, it just didn't come. Chippewa had the better of the attack. I thought Naya Bolani had a great match for the Chips. You can see why her and her sister Nadia are national pool futsal players for the U.S. Their on-ball skill is just tremendous, and it's really hard to mark up as a defender 1v1. Elena Dressler, center mid for Chippewa, had a fantastic match here as an assertive ball winner and initiating the attack. You just got the feeling, bottom line, that Chippewa was going to be able to find a goal one way or another, and they did, and it ended up being a 1-0 win for them, and that's a credit for them for the way that they approached this match in the attack. But let's focus on Kirtland and the positives here. Historic run for the Hornets. This senior-laden side, and especially that led by that group in the defensive third, Maddie Zuber in goal, Hallie Ward and Carrie Zalba as outside backs, Emily Cadis as a center back. This senior class has a lot to be proud of. I think we lose sight of the fact sometimes that with a lot of these programs, especially smaller school public programs, these girls play together from the time that they're 8 years old, stepping on that youth soccer pitch, to hardly any fanfare, especially at the youth soccer ranks, and building their way up into high school. And what this nucleus has done for this program and for the area overall, I think has just been fantastic. I think the legacy here ultimately for this entire group, not just the seniors, but this group overall, is that it is possible to put this together at a public school program. Certainly there are challenges competing with private school programs and the great private school programs that we have around this area, but it is possible to put together a nucleus from that young age and have them play together for upwards of 10 years and be able to see the rewards and reap the dividends at the end of the day. Curlin had a heck of a run here, beating Hawken, beating Gilmore, seeing out results in regional competition against Warren Champion and against Creston Norwayne, playing a competitive regular season schedule as a public school program and facing it head on. The legacy of this program is that it is possible to do that, to have those kids play together from youth soccer all the way up and be able to have a great run as a program, and Kirtland certainly did here. Those girls should be very proud. That community should be very proud of the run that they had.